Make sure we actually go live this time. Hello, everybody. How's day, whatever it is for you of self-quarantine? As usual, if you comment on this post in Facebook or on YouTube, I will see those comments and I can respond. I'm more than happy to indulge my audience. Let me just share the stream real quick to a few groups. And I'm going to start a watch party, so hopefully we'll get some viewers beyond my regulars. Alright. One more. Share to a page. Before news. Post. Sorry about the delay, everybody. Just want to make sure that people can see our conversation as it starts here. Okay. Y'all ready for this? Okay, so I'm going live with some coronavirus updates. We've got quite a few coronavirus updates. In fact, New York Governor Cuomo, I can never say his name right, has ordered 75% of the workforce to stay home. So no more than 25% of the workforce can remain in office, except essential services such as food, pharmacies, healthcare, shipping, and supplies. They are apparently exempted from this rule. Now, New York alone, the state of New York alone, has at least 4,100 confirmed cases, which means in all likelihood they have a ton more unconfirmed cases. In international news, we'll get back to some of the local United States news here in a minute, but in international news, the country's interior minister blasted, quote, idiots, unquote, for breaking the lockdown rules, and they may be extending their 14-day coronavirus lockdown. They had announced a 15-day lockdown for the entire country, including a mandate that you have to have official documentation for why you're no longer in your house, which is just crazy. Just crazy. I'm going to quote the Macron here. He's the interior minister. Or the president, I'm sorry. French President Emmanuel Macron. Quote, "When I see that people continue to go to the park, to the beach, or to rush into open markets," paraphrase, it means, continue, quote, "they have not understood the rules of the lockdown," end quote. It is likely, continuing quote, "it is likely that it is indeed necessary to extend containment measures in order for the breaking to be sufficient," end quote. That secondary quote was from Genevieve Chene, who heads France's public health agency. Genevieve Chene also said that the outbreak is projected to peak in France around May, which is just crazy, crazy talk. Not like she's crazy, more like it's just crazy. And other updates, I want to apologize. New York actually has at least 5,298 cases. As of the most recent updates, not 4,100. They have at least 19 deaths in California, with at least 910 total cases in California. All 40 million residents of California have been ordered to stay home to prevent spread. Washington, which is considered one of the epicenters of the outbreak here in the States, has at least 1,376 confirmed cases. Additionally, there's debate on whether or not the 2020 Tokyo Olympics will go ahead, so we'll see how that pans out. The Indian government prohibited export of masks and ventilators because they need them, so they're not letting anybody export them right now, which is crazy. They also banned all international commercial passenger flights from landing in India for a week. More than 190 confirmed cases in India and at least 4 deaths. And I want to remind everyone while I'm pulling up these other updates, this is not just a flu. Whoever's saying that is either not paying attention or frankly being dumb. Okay? They're just being not smart. Current core death rate, last I checked, I can check the math again here in a moment to make everybody happy. The last I checked was 4.04% of people who contract the virus globally have died. Now that might not seem like a lot, but that's more than 1 in 25 adults. Healthy people. 1 for every 25 people who gets this will die, at least. And those are preliminary numbers. And the flu, the regular flu everybody keeps comparing this to, kills 1 in 1,000. So if you do the math, just based on raw percentages, the raw percentage of the coronavirus killing people versus the raw percentage of the flu killing people, the coronavirus is 404 times more deadly so far than the freaking flu. So this is not just a flu. This is so much worse. And we need to be aware of that. We need to continue to social distance. We need to self-sacrifice in solidarity with our communities, with our nations, with our fellow people of the world. We need to limit the spread of this, because the more it spreads, the more people will die. And if we social distance, we are actively limiting deaths. That's what we're doing. If we continue to social distance and self-quarantine. And I understand it may not be possible for everyone. A lot of people's jobs won't be as flexible as mine is. My doctor ordered me to quarantine. I haven't tested positive for it, although I haven't tested for it at all because I don't exhibit enough symptoms yet. My doctor ordered me to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. My second week is almost up. Luckily, work is paying for it. I understand how incredibly rare and lucky it is that my work is decent enough to pay for my time in self-quarantine in the midst of this crisis. So I get that not everybody can self-quarantine, but where you can, do. I saw some reporting that the usual incubation period, I think as we all know, is about 14 days, but I saw some reporting that it can be up to 27 days, which means you could be showing no symptoms for almost an entire month and still carrying the virus to people, which is just mind-blowing. Like, a whole month. Like, I could have it right now. I'm not really showing any symptoms anymore. I could have it, and I'm going to go back to work, and I give it to everybody at the office. Like, that would be terrible. It would be just terrible. But it's a possibility for all of us that this could happen. So we have to social distance. And as that, I wanted to give some advice for those with little kids and other youth who might have a hard time understanding, why they can't touch their face, or why they're not getting as many hugs, or why they're staying away from elderly relatives. And just try to explain it in terms I already understand. Like, I saw one person say they're telling their grandchildren, Grandma needs a special bubble right now. Most kids understand the idea of the bubble, of the personal space, so that's a really good example. But think of other things that the kiddos will understand, so that way they're not as confused and afraid in this time. Um, I also want to give me just a second here. So I want to pull up this map. There was a map I found earlier. Map of coronavirus. Wisconsin has had at least 2 deaths from the coronavirus, unfortunately. New York, like I said, is up a bit. I'm gonna transition over to this NPR map so we can look at the map together. Let me just full screen it real quick. Alright, transitioning. Alright, so this is a map. Credit to NPR. Washington has 1,376 cases, 74 deaths. New York, 5,365 cases. 34 deaths. California, 900 plus cases, 8 deaths. So the United States has 13,608 total cases according to NPR. That number right there. And 200 known deaths so far. So if we do the math, and I'm happy to do the math with you guys live. There's my calculator. 200. That's 13,608. So in the United States, this actually hasn't been as deadly. About 1.46% of people die. Versus 0.001, this is where the 1 is for the flu. So it's about, so far in the United States compared to, and this is only known cases, and we don't have nearly enough tests, so we don't actually know. But of the known cases and known deaths, this is about 140 times. No, I'm sorry. Yes, 140 times more deadly than the flu. At 14. Sorry, I'm bad with math. Transition back over here. I want to look up the global numbers real quick while everybody's watching, and I will do that for you. Global coronavirus numbers. Found a really good source earlier. Here we go. Total deaths, logarithmic. Okay, so according to worldometer.info, who last updated it at 3 Greenland time, I think that is. As of right now, the World Health Organization is currently expecting a 3.4% mortality rate, whereas the flu is a 0.01% mortality rate. So what that means is that this is 340 times deadlier than the flu. So yeah, that's a problem. And now I'm getting some comments coming in about Tulsi endorsing Biden. And people, some other comments about everyone endorsing Biden and nobody wanting to pay taxes, and not enough Americans caring about everyone having Medicare, from 2 different people. So to answer the question about Tulsi endorsing Biden, next one question. I think it just shows Tulsi's mask coming off. I think that's all it is, really. It's showing that Tulsi isn't the anti-establishment, progressive for a libertarian that she claimed to be. It just shows that she is what she was before 2015. That's a career politician who, and I just touched my face, so hopefully I don't get the virus. But that just shows that, she took military-industrial complex money before 2015. And then she came out as a strong anti-war person this time around. And because she's taken money from the MIC, it's kind of hard to believe that she was ever truly, fully anti-war. Unfortunately, I know people really liked her for her anti-war stance, but considering she's taken money from the MIC, once you take their money, they own you. That's just the long and short of it. In other Utah news, one of our Congress people, Ben McAdams, who endorsed Bloomberg, and Bloomberg donated a ridiculous amount of money to his campaign through a PAC or something. I don't remember how he did it exactly, but it was like 50 or 100 grand, and then he endorsed him. Did test positive for the coronavirus, so take from that whatever lessons or assumptions you will about karma or the universe's long arm of justice, if that's your kind of thing. I also want to see if we've got any more comments. Give me just a second, everybody. And I can answer my comments in the comment section. That's all I'm seeing so far. Yep. So those are the comments I'm seeing so far. I like to keep these relatively short. So thank you everybody for watching. And again, please follow. Following information is on the right hand side of your screen. There's me at Socialist Phelan on Twitter, at Wolf of Light News on Twitter is our news. We did just get some more contributors to the Wolf of Light News platform, so we should be having more writings and perspectives there than just mine, which I think will be really cool. And if you like my work, you can always donate to it. I don't have a Patreon or anything like that, but you can go to wolfoflightnews.com/donate and donate any amount. I'll take anything. If you support my work, $1, 50 cents, $5, $50, whatever you have. I get that right now might not be a great time because we're in the middle of a global pandemic, but if you can chip into my work, it's always appreciated, and I hope you all have a great night and stay